Rose Garden. I'm Avalon.
And I'm Ray.
And we are on chapter 50 of Throne of Glass. Out of 55 plus the little bonus extras in the back.
We're so close.
We're almost done.
Like, it's shocking to see that we still have 5 chapters to go because... plus the extras. Because, like, the pages that we have left is, like, really small. And I know that, it looks like more, but, like, this is 5 chapters. That's really...
Yeah.
The chapters are so short.
Yeah, it's about 40 pages left to go.
If that, yeah.
You know, not counting the half pages and...
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's just get through it so we can move on to Cinderella Boy.
Please.
And if you want to hear our voice acting of Cinderella Boy beyond, like, the first episode, you will probably need to become a supporter for that. Yeah. Anywho, we'll talk more about that when we actually release that.
Yeah.
Which we can do when we finish this. That's our reward for finishing this, is we get to do Cinderella Boy. It's been, I think, over a year now since we started this book.
It's so hard to get through. Not gonna lie.
Well, and also we got really sick and, you know, things happened. But
it's also been really hard to get through.
It has.
Just in general.
All right, here we go. So in the last chapter, we basically got back to baseline. Give us a moment while Ray opens his drink.
I gotta open my drinks. All right, thank you.
My soda pop, my little soda pop.
You in particular would be so cooked.
I know. I didn't even realize that they were singing about draining people's souls until I saw it on a Tumblr post. Like, I didn't even figure it out late. I didn't figure it out at all. Sasha Boy's got me. Anyway. So yeah, all of last chapter was a really weird kind of side note in this fight. We're back to just Kane versus Selena. Selena's HP is red and flashing.
That really annoying music is playing.
But she has a skill trigger that comes into effect that like doubles her chances of landing a critical hit when she's in the red. So let's see what happens.
It's called main character.
Like, I know she's gonna win. I'm just, is it gonna be a believable action sequence where I'm like, oh, that's cool, I'm actually hyped for this fight? Or is it gonna be some bullshit? Because the first part of this fight was pretty cool and hype.
And then the
last chapter was some bullshit.
So it's like a 50-50 chance of all, like, is this gonna be bullshit or is this gonna be good?
Let's find out.
Well, okay, I say 50-50, but, like...
more like 75-25.
Yeah, 75-25, because we've read the rest of this book, and most of it has been some bullshit.
If we're being generous, it's 75-25. Put your guesses in the comments.
Vote on your phones now.
Phoebe's right leg could barely support her, but she gritted her teeth and rose. She squared her shoulders as Kane halted. The wind caressed her face and swept her hair behind her in a billowing sheet of gold. Oh, she's gotta be hot. I will not be afraid.
Wait, she's had her hair down this entire time?
I guess so.
Idiot!
A mark burned on her forehead in the blinding blue light. What's that on your face? Kane asked. The king rose, his brows narrowed, and nearby Nehemia gasped. With her aching, almost useless arm, she wiped the blood from her mouth. Kane growled as pronouns are hard. As he swung his sword, making to behead her, Phoebe shot forward as fast as an arrow of Diana. So her leg can barely support her, but she's still fast. That's that 50% increase to critical hit going on.
Okay.
I neglected to mention that it also increases her evasion by, like, 90%. Because one more hit will KO her, so can't be hit now. Kane's eyes went wide as she buried the jagged end of the staff in his right side, exactly where Kaol had said he would be unguarded. Blood poured onto her hands as she yanked it out, and Kane staggered back, clutching his ribs. She forgot pain, forgot fear, forgot the tyrant who stared at the burning mark on her head with dark eyes. Yeah, thanks for setting her up for that one, Elena. She leapt back a step and sliced open Kane's arm with the broken end of the staff, ripping through muscle and sinew. He swatted at her with his other arm, but she moved aside, cutting the limb as well. He lunged, but she dashed away. The evasion is really,
She's really kicking in.
Do you have Emblem Marth engaged? Like, what the... If she hadn't been injured in her legs specifically,
Yeah.
I might have an easier time buying
I'm
this.
all like, yeah, she's an assassin, she's gotta be quick and like... But she literally just said that she can barely stand, but she's able to evade this well.
Not only evade, but also counterattack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess the critical hit also applies to counterattacks.
Also, like, doesn't she have, like, blood on her face and shit? Like, why isn't that getting in her eyes?
She just wiped it off her mouth. Like, I don't know where else the blood was at. I assumed it was everywhere.
Yeah.
But I guess...
Like, he, like, slammed her head into the...
Once she wiped it off her mouth, she was good to go.
She's good to go, guys.
It's like when a character is super sick in a cartoon and you just put, like, a bandage on their head and they're fine.
And they're fine now. What's a concussion? She probably has a concussion right now. Like,
no,
after all the shit.
She's the main character.
She's the main character. She doesn't get concussed.
She doesn't get concussed. She just got a full restore from Elena.
What's that ringing sound? Who's got their phone on? No one's got their phone on. No, it's no ringing sound.
I love the Aizawa TikToks.
Nikki Marina is my queen.
Alright. Let's just get fucking through this. God, I just want to be Chase Hollow, like and follow so bad. He lunged, but she dashed away. Kane sprawled upon the ground. She slammed her foot into his back, and as he lifted his head, he found the knife-sharp remnant of the staff pressed against his neck. "Move and I'll spill your throat on the ground," she said, her jaw aching. Kane went still, and for a moment she could have sworn his eyes glowed like coals. For a heartbeat, she considered killing him right there so he couldn't tell anyone what he knew, about her, about her parents, about the word marks and their power, if the king knew any of that. Her hand trembled with the effort to keep from driving the spearhead into his neck, but Phoebe lifted her bruised face to the king. The councilmen began nervously clapping. None of them had seen the spectacle. None of them had seen the shadows in the gusting wind. The king looked her over, and Phoebe willed herself to remain upright, to stand tall as he judged. She felt each second of silence like a blow to her gut. Was he considering whether there was a way out? After what seemed to be a lifetime, the king spoke. "My son's champion is the victor," the king growled. The world spun beneath her feet. She'd won. She'd won. She was free, or as close to it as she could come. She would be the king's champion, and then she would be free. It came crashing down upon her, and Phoebe dropped the bloody remnant of the staff on the ground as she removed her foot from Kane's back. She limped away, her breathing hard and ragged. She'd been saved. Elena had saved her. And she had. She had won. Yeah,
So it was bullshit.
I mean, it was bullshit, but it wasn't the worst bullshit that it could have been.
It felt...
I'm just like...
It felt a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah.
It...
Again...
Like, she got the poison taken out of her, she got up, and she decimated him, and then suddenly it's over. It all ended really quickly in comparison to the 2 chapters that we had before that was, like, building it up.
Yeah, and again, I would find this a lot more believable if she hadn't seriously injured her leg specifically, and if they hadn't called out right at the start that she could barely stand, her leg is barely supporting her.
Yeah.
Like, this is some fucking Karate Kid bullshit.
Yeah, whatever. Let's just get this over with.
Nehemia was exactly where she'd been standing before, smiling faintly, only... The princess collapsed, and her bodyguards rushed to her side. Phoebe made a move to her friend, but her legs gave out, and she fell to the tiles. Dorian, as if released from a spell, dashed to her, throwing himself to his knees beside her, murmuring her name again and again. But she barely heard him. Huddled on the ground, hot tears slid down Phoebe's face. She'd won. Through the pain, Phoebe began laughing. POV switch tilde, and possibly time skip, I'm not sure. As the assassin laughed quietly to herself, nope, just POV,
Okay.
head bowed to the ground, Dorian surveyed her body. The cut along her thigh wouldn't stop bleeding, her arm hung limp, and her face and arms were a patchwork of cuts and rapidly forming bruises. Kane, his features set with fury, stood not too far behind, blood seeping through his fingers as he clutched his side. Let him suffer. Then let him die. She needs a healer, he said to his father. The king said nothing. You, boy, Dorian snapped to a page. Fetch a healer as fast as you can. Dorian found
they both need a healer.
Whatever. Dorian found it difficult to breathe.
Listen, I know that fucking Kane is the bad guy, but
legally he's done nothing.
Legally, as far as they can tell, he's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, as far as they know.
They need to heal him. Especially since fucking Phoebe Alyssa motherfucker still hasn't told anybody
what he did.
It's all bro, get him a healer too. He's bleeding.
I mean, if fucking Parrington can do that shit.
Yeah.
That's his champion. Let him do it.
So
I'm not mad about this.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still just what the fuck, man?
Anyway, Dorian found it difficult to breathe. He should have stopped it when Kane first hit her. He should have done something other than watch when she had so clearly been drugged.
You should have.
Yeah. She would have helped him.
Fucking idiot.
She wouldn't have hesitated. Kaol even had helped her. He'd knelt down beside the edge of the ring. And who had drugged her? Carefully putting his arms around Phoebe, Dorian glanced toward Kaltane and Parrington. In doing so, he missed the look exchanged between Kane and his father. The soldier pulled out his dagger. But Kaol saw. Kane raised his dagger to strike the girl in the back. Without thinking, without understanding, Kaol leapt between them and plunged his sword through Kane's heart. Blood erupted everywhere, showering Kaol's arms, his head, his clothes. I don't think that's what happens when you stab someone in the heart.
Okay. His blood pressure just is insane. You don't even know. Absorbing all those frickin' guys, power and whatnot, he also took in their salt intake into him. His blood pressure is just
He's got so much cholesterol that his veins are like one blood cell.
If you pricked his finger, it's like a fire hydrant.
Stabbed him and then the pressure just blasted the sword right out.
You stab him, he just explodes.
Anyway, okay.
Anyway.
Blood erupted everywhere, showering Kaol's arms, his head, his clothes. The blood reeked somehow of death and decay.
Jesus Christ!
Kane fell, hitting the ground hard.
Blood smells even nastier. Okay,
So it is a magical side effect, but what?
So...
But she stabbed him!
Content warning a bit for, some more squeamish listeners. But, okay, so, you were there with me. One time, we were sitting at, we were crossing an intersection, and it was, where a accident had been.
Oh, I remember this.
And, it was not a good accident. I think a motorcyclist was involved because there was blood on the streets and it was a very hot day. And it did smell very bad, but I don't think it smelled like death and decay levels type bad.
Yeah, that was the time.
That sure was a time. But I was just over here his blood somehow smelled nastier than other blood. He's just that gross.
I'm assuming there is. But we were joking about, the blood from the dead guys. I think they are implying that literally that is true.
Yeah, he literally took in their blood, their cholesterol levels. It's just, he's just a...
But his heart specifically, because when she stabbed him in the ribs, he didn't start freaking gushing.
Yeah, just the heart specifically. Okay.
Okay. The world became silent. Kaol watched the last breath issue from Kane's mouth, watched him die.
That's not silent. You ever heard a death rattle?
When it was over and Kane's eyes stopped seeing him, Kale's sword clattered to the ground. He dropped to his knees beside Kane, but didn't touch him. What had he done? Your fucking job, dude. This guy pulled a dagger and the prince was right there.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's the captain of the guard. Like, he did his job.
there is no reason for him to be pulling a weapon right now, especially that close to the crown prince.
For real.
Dead. Like,
Dead.
That's
super dead.
immediately. Kale couldn't stop staring at his blood-soaked hands. He'd killed him.
But, dude, you're the captain of the guard. You've probably killed, like, a lot of people.
No, he's a good cop. He's never killed before.
Okay.
Kale, Dorian breathed. In his arms, Phoebe had gone utterly still. What have I done? Kale asked him. Okay, you can't... What had he done? And then, what have I done? Again, once, fine. More than once,
Stop.
too on the nose.
Yeah. Also, like, he pulled a knife and the prince is right there. Like, why would he have any, like, moral qualms about this, since he is literally the captain of the guard?
And he just watched what he did to Phoebe, like...
I'm just over here like, I don't know why this, what have I done? It's all like, yeah, you killed a guy, you've probably killed a lot of guys. You're captain of the guard, you've probably
That's kind of your job.
been on the battlefield at some point.
Like, this is an imperialist nation. How have you not killed someone before?
How have you managed to not kill a guy yet?
It wasn't even like it was in cold blood.
Yeah.
He drew a weapon on the prince.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, on Phoebe, but the prince is right there. Like,
yeah. So I'm just over here like...
he wouldn't know which one was in danger.
Kale, why are you having a moral panic about this? This is literally your job.
Phoebe made a small noise and began shaking. 2 guards helped lift him up, but Kale could only stare at his bloody hands as they helped him away. You got bloody everything right now, dude. You just, like, got totally sprayed.
He exploded. Like...
Dorian watched his boyfriend disappear into the castle and then turned to the assassin. His father was already yelling about something. She trembled so badly that her wounds leaked further. He shouldn't have killed him. Now he... She let out a gasping breath. She saved me, she said, burying her face in his chest. Dorian, she took the poison out of me. Oh, gods, I don't even know what happened. Dorian had no idea what she was speaking about, but he held her tighter.
I mean, like, why is she saying...
ramblings.
Why is she saying, like, yo, Kale shouldn't have done that? It's all like, the fuck he shouldn't have.
You were literally considering it 2 minutes ago.
He had absolutely every reason to kill that guy. Kill that guy fucking dead.
Like, the only thing I could possibly think of, oh, we should have kept him alive, is because then the murders and everything. But, like, she never told anyone about that, so there's no point. Dorian felt the eyes of the council upon them, weighing and considering every word out of her mouth, every move or reaction of his. Damning the council to hell, Dorian kissed her hair. The mark on her brow had faded. What had that meant? What had any of it meant? Poor Dorian, he's lost. He's not very bright, and this is very
like
confusing.
A drunken bra. He looks at Kane's fucking exploded ass body. Looks like a bar fight.
He's like, this is kind of legitimizing my bar fight theory, actually.
I've seen bar fights. Everyone's just like, shut the fuck up, you idiot.
Kane had touched a nerve in her today. When he had mentioned her parents, she'd lost control entirely. He'd never seen her that wild, that frantic. He hated himself for not acting, for standing like a damned coward. He would make it up to her. He would see to it that she was freed. And after that... Who knows?
Dots.
No one knows right now. I don't think SJM knows, but that's fine. That's for later. We're almost to the next POV switch. Come on. Come on, old gal. Make it through. She didn't fight him when he carried her to her rooms, instructing the physician to follow. He was done with politics and intrigue. He loved her, and no empire, no king, no earthly fear would keep him from her. No, if they tried to take her from him, he'd rip the world apart with his bare hands, and for some reason that didn't terrify him. Until she dumps you in the next book for Kale, but you know. POV switch tilde. Kaltain watched in despair and bewilderment as Dorian carried the weeping assassin in his arms. How had she beaten Kane when she'd been drugged? Why was she not dead? Seated beside the glowering king, Parrington fumed. The councilman scribbled on paper. Kaltain drew the empty vial from her pocket. Hadn't the Duke given her enough bloodbane to seriously impair the assassin? Why wasn't Dorian crying over her corpse? Why wasn't she holding Dorian, comforting him? The pain in her head erupted, so violent that her vision went obsidian, and she stopped thinking clearly. Kaltain approached the Duke and hissed in his ear. I thought you said this would work. She fought to keep her voice in a whisper. I thought you said this damn drug would work. The king and the Duke stared at her, and the councilman exchanged glances as Kaltain straightened. Then, yeah, maybe even in a whisper, don't say that when everyone is right there.
Yeah.
Then slowly the Duke rose from his seat. What is that in your hand? The Duke asked a bit too loudly. You know what it is, she seethed, still trying to keep her voice down, even as the pain in her head turned into a thunderous roar. She could scarcely think straight. She could only answer to the fury inside of her. That damn poison I gave her, she murmured, so only Parrington could hear. Yeah, again, I don't think that's the case. I think everyone can hear. Like, this is when my students think they're being really sneaky by, like, whispering, and
Except they're kids.
no one else is talking.
So they're still, like, loud as hell.
Well, even then, even when they are being quiet, if no one else in the room is talking,
Yeah.
and you are, it's kind of hard to hide it.
Yeah.
Like, especially when I can see your mouth moving. Just, it's... Anyway.
But also, kids can't whisper for shit. They're loud as hell.
Yeah, it takes some practice to be aware of your volume, and a lot of kids aren't.
Yeah.
Like, I will talk to a kid and be like, hey, we're gonna do this at a level 1 volume. Can you show me what level 1 means to you? Because, my level 0 is silent, level 1 is whispering. And they'll respond to me in, like, a regular speaking voice, but they think they're whispering because they make it kind of breathy. And I'm like, that's not what whispering is,
Yeah.
firstly. Like, they think it's a tone, not a volume. So it's a practiced skill.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people forget that kids need to be explicitly taught how to do a lot of things, like modulate their volume, and tie their fucking shoes. Oh my god, if I see one more ad
for those slip-ons,
for those fucking slip-ons, and being like, oh, you can avoid the hassle of teaching your children to tie their shoes. I'm like, teach your fucking kids to tie their shoes, okay? I don't care if they prefer slip-ons. Personally, I prefer slip-ons also. But you need not tying skills.
Yeah.
There are fine motor operations that your fingers do when you tie knots that you need for things. Please teach your kids to tie their shoes.
Also, just generally, the better your kids are at tying their shoes, the better their penmanship will be.
Yeah, because it's fine motor control. I am really sick of having upper elementary students who need my help to tie their shoes.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. They're embarrassed by it, okay? Take the 10 minutes to teach them and practice with them so that they're not about to go into middle school and don't know how to tie their shoes and have to ask their teacher for help. It's not good for them. It embarrasses them. Stop it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Moving on. Poison? Parrington asked, so loud Kaltain's eyes grew wide. You poisoned her? Why would you do that? He motioned to 3 guards. Oh, she got played so hard.
She's, like, so high, she doesn't even know where she is right now. And he's, like...
I think the problem is that she's not high. I think she's going...
her up for murder.
I think she's going through withdrawals right now. Why did the king not speak? Why did he not come to her aid? Parrington had given her the poison based on the king's command, hadn't he? The council members looked at her accusingly, whispering among themselves. Girl, they gave it to you to be a scapegoat. Why do you think Parrington and the king didn't touch it? Plausible deniability. The council members looked at her accusingly, whispering among themselves. You gave it to me, she said to the Duke. Harrington's orange brows furrowed. What are you talking about?
Dumb bitch.
Kaltane started forward. You scheming son of a harlot! Restrain her, please, the Duke said, blandly, calmly, as if she were no more than a hysterical servant, as if she were nobody. I told you, the Duke said.
Lady Catherine, please, I've stand you for the longest time in this book. You don't have to be this stupid.
No, she does, though. I told you, the Duke said into the king's ear, that she'd do anything to get the crown. His words were lost as she was dragged away. There was nothing, no emotion at all in the Duke's face. He had played her for a fool. Kaltane struggled against the guards. Your Majesty, please! His Grace told me that you... The Duke merely looked away. I'll kill you, she screamed at Parrington. She turned to the king, beseechingly, but he too looked away, his face crumpled with distaste. He wouldn't listen to anything she said, no matter what the truth was. I never thought the leopards would eat my face.
Oh, I never thought the leopards would eat my face. I don't remember the rest of the words.
Yeah. Parrington had been planning this... Blah, blah, blah. Parrington had been planning this for too long, and she'd played right into his hands. He'd acted the besotted fool only to plunge a dagger into her back. Kaltane kicked and thrashed against the guard's grip, but the king's table became smaller and smaller. As she reached the doors to the castle, the Duke grinned at her, and her dreams shattered. See, I know she's been like the mean girl antagonist throughout all this, but I do have to admit, I think that her punishment later is just absolutely disproportionate.
Oh.
And it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah. It just comes off as kind of like girl hate.
I mean, it's like pretty brutal, given...
What is her punishment?
Okay. I haven't read the next book, and I only read like a brief summary of it on TV Tropes, so forgive me for not having the details. But at some point, it's revealed that she does have like some kind of proclivity for magic. And she basically just gets brainwashed and tortured, and I think she is like forced to marry Parrington or something. Like, there's a lot of implications that she is just the narrative chew toy for a while. And like, she still hates Phoebe throughout it all for, you know, like putting her in that position. I think she does help her at one point, but then she like dies immediately. And it's just kind of a... I mean, she wasn't a good person by any means, but this seems a little excessive.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth. Anywho, that was chapter 50. I think that
we
was...
have 5 more chapters and 1 more for the extras.
Yeah, and I think the rest are going to be a little bit shorter from here on.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of wrapping up, lingering plot threads and setting up for the sequel and things like that. So, there we go. I mean, I guess it wasn't horrible, but it could have definitely been better. Just kind of an anticlimax.
Yeah.
After chapter 48 was decent. So, you know, I did know that Chaol killed Cain ahead of time. That was one of the things that I spoiled for myself. I was happy to see that he didn't kill him intervening in the match. That Phoebe was allowed to win the match without him rushing in to kill Cain and save her, which is honestly what I was a little bit worried was going to happen. Because I knew that Cain killed him, but I didn't know the context.
Or Chaol killed Cain.
Yeah, Chaol killed Cain.
Yeah.
Great name repetition sounds really good for me. I knew that Chaol killed him, but I didn't know the context. So I'm glad that it wasn't that he stepped in and killed him for her.
Yeah.
That would have been really awful. It was just a little bit anticlimactic instead of insulting.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, we're almost done. I am so excited to record Cinderella Boy instead. I've been practicing so much. That'll be a really good time. We just need to make it through a few more chapters. So thank you for being with us this long. Stick with us through the end, and I don't know, I'll be forever in your debt. Keep growing till next time, Rose Garden.
Bye.